All right.
We are live.
We are live. Welcome to The Social Truth. I'm Rob Wormley.
And I am Taylor Hinkle making my first guest appearance here on One Social Media TV. Pretty excited.
Yep, Taylor Hinkle is a senior project manager at One Social Media and also an award-winning photographer
That's right.
extraordinaire. And so we are excited to join you all this week for our weekly show. Today's topic is blogging.
I don't know if you knew this about me, Rob, but I actually invented blogging.
Did you?
Yep, so I know what I'm talking about.
I don't believe you.
No, I didn't invent blogging, but we're going to help you. We're going to give you some tips. If you don't already have a blog, by the end of this, you're going to feel comfortable and confident enough that you'll be able to start a blog. So there's over 200 million blogs out there, and that's kind of a mind-blowing number when you think about it. I mean, 200 million, you must think, how am I going to come up with something to blog about if there's already 200 million people out there with a blog? How am I going to create something that people are going to read and not find one of the other 200 million blogs? Well, the truth is over 90% of those blogs are dead, meaning maybe someone started it and that's as far as they got. Maybe they blogged, once a month for a year, but either way, it's dead now. So you have to decide for yourself, first of all, which is the best blog platform for you. If you're asking us, the answer to that is very easy. It's WordPress. There's a number of different blog. There's WordPress, Blogger, Blogspot,
Tumblr.
Tumblr. I mean, the list is endless, but it seems like everything nowadays are being created for, to be able to integrate it with the rest of your social media. WordPress is the way to go. And that's not the only question you have to answer. You have to also answer WordPress.com or WordPress.org.
That's right, because there are two different kinds within the WordPress system, right?
That's right. So WordPress.com is a hosted solution, meaning basically everything is done for you. All you have to do is go to WordPress.com and you could be up and blogging by the time this show is over. Realistically, it's super simple. But what that means is, what that means when we say a hosted solution is that everything from the setup to upgrades, security, spam, everything is done for you. So there's none of that back-end work that you have to do. The downside is the customization abilities. WordPress.com, I mean, the sky's the limit with what you want to get out of your blog in terms of functionality, the design you want, custom themes. So WordPress.org is actually where you download the WordPress.org software onto your WordPress. It's a self-hosted solution. So you'll actually have to go to GoDaddy or somewhere like that, purchase your URL, and then install the WordPress.org software onto your website.
And some sites are entirely designed using the WordPress.org platform. Is that right?
Some awesome sites, one of which is onesocialmedia.com. So if you're kind of curious, what does a WordPress.org website look like, or what could my blog look like, go to onesocialmedia.com, take a look around to get an idea of the functionality and really the custom themes. It's just incredible.
So let's start talking about some of the plugins that WordPress.org offers. I think let's just start with some of the basics. Let's talk about the social sharing functions that you can use on WordPress.org.
Well, that's another pro of WordPress.org as opposed to WordPress.com, is that you can upload or download your own customizable plugins, such as the social sharing buttons like the Facebook share button, the Tweet Me button, the Twitter share button. I mean, these are all plugins that are absolutely essential, we feel, and that we put on all of our clients' blogs. It basically gives, to put it in a more simple sense, it gives you and your viewers the opportunity to share your blog with their entire network with one click.
Yeah,
it's super powerful.
And basically what Taylor's saying is you want to make your blog the hub for your community to go to, but not only that, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to share your content with the rest of their followers in their community. And what WordPress.org offers is a simple way, or a few simple ways, for you to install some plugins so that it's as easy as one click and a few login information that you have to enter in, and your users will be able to share your content instantly.
You want to be kind of careful though when you're installing these plugins, because when you're searching plugins within your WordPress.org dashboard, and say you type in Facebook share button, you're going to get like 1,000 different options to choose from. So if you want to know which the best ones are, what we've found through trial and error to be the best and most consistent, user-friendly buttons, just email us or call us here at the office and we'll give you a couple tips.
Yep. All right, so we talked about some of the social share buttons. What are some other plugins that you can use to optimize your blog?
The all-in-one SEO pack is another one that we feel is absolutely essential. You have to have it on your blog. What it does is it basically optimizes your blog for SEO for you, which is humongous. I mean, when you're going through, it's easy to install and it's fairly easy to configure. You can go to Google and say how to best set up my all-in-one SEO pack and figure it out from there. But basically, what it does is it lets you plug in keywords, lets you type in keywords to your home title for the blog, so that when you're thinking about who is my target market for this blog, but more than that, what is my target market, typing into Google and Yahoo and Bing into those major search engines to try to find you or your service.
Yeah, because if you're not familiar with SEO, it's search engine optimization. So you're getting the most out of trying to make sure you're showing up on places like Google, Yahoo, and Bing with the plugin that Taylor was talking about, the SEO all-in-one pack. So it's just another one of the many plugins that you can use on WordPress blogs to, give value to your community. And are there any other plugins you think you want to talk about today? Any others?
I mean, the list is really endless in terms of plugins. I mean, there's we use I don't know, 25 or more for all of our blogs. I mean, we just keep on finding new ones.
There's really good analytics plugins, there's good SEO plugins, good social share buttons. You can download plugins to stream your tweets on the side of your blog. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you can do to connect all of the information you have out there on the internet into one place. And like we were talking about before, use these plugins to make the blog your hub and provide value to your community using the different plugins. So that's the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. And like we said, WordPress.org is where you want to be if you really want to get the most out of WordPress and out of your blog. But if you're just looking to start a blog for free today, you don't want a lot of hassle, you just want to get it up within a few minutes and start blogging, WordPress.com is where you should start if you're not comfortable with diving in really deep with blogging.
For example, if you have like a wedding coming up this summer and you want to keep your family and friends updated on the progress, because I guess that's becoming more and more popular these days, just go WordPress.com. I mean, you can still upload your own photos and stuff and make it a little bit more personable, but if you're creating a blog to become the hub of your social media strategy, you're definitely going to want to go the WordPress.org route.
And it's not very difficult to learn either. There are a lot of resources out there. You can find stuff on YouTube, on Google, all over the place on different information to make you more successful using WordPress.org. It doesn't take, someone who's an expert in HTML code or CSS. Anybody can learn how to use WordPress. It just takes a little bit of time, but I guarantee you, you will get something out of using WordPress.org. If you use a blog for your business, you'll start to see a difference in your lead generation and the buzz that you're getting about your brands and your company in general from your community. So I'd say that's about it for the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So Taylor's going to step out for the rest of the show, and we're going to bring another one of our project managers in to talk more about blogging. So thanks, Taylor.
Thanks a lot, Rob. Thanks, guys, for having me. Hope you learned something.
All right, introducing Mike Ball. You may have seen him before on our previous shows, and he's back to talk more about blogging and creativity. How's it going, Mike?
Not too bad. How you doing, Rob?
Not bad.
How's it going, everybody? Not that you can talk back to me.
Well, you can chat us if you have any questions, but it looks like, let's see. Okay, so let's talk more about blogging. So you wrote a blog post, I think it was either last week or the week before, about blogging. What was that blog post about?
In short, it's basically how to write your blog to make it a little bit more interesting and exciting for people to read. Because I feel like blogging has a very negative connotation with it. I feel like if I mention, oh yeah, part of my job is to blog for clients, people say, oh that's no fun, or that's really boring. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the best part of my day.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, and I think a lot of people are just scared of blogging in general. They think it's something that's unfamiliar and uncharted territory, and something that only tech nerds do, and people who aren't familiar with new media or internet can't really jump into. But that's not true, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, I've written blogs about anything from kitchen design to the possibility of there being a new planet of life out there and everything in between. I mean, there's no limit to what you blog about. And really, what we want to talk about today is how to make whatever you're blogging about, it could be anything, it could be about different kinds of spoons, to make that blog enjoyable for everyone to read.
So what do you suggest for making a blog more interesting and enjoyable for audience and for communities?
I have a creative mind, which also means I have a mind like a child or like a 5-year-old. So when I'm reading through something, I like it to have characteristics of a good story, and this is what I wrote my last blog about. Now, when you're reading something, you want to be able to attach yourself to it or have some kind of emotional investment in whatever you're reading. So the writer needs to consider that, because if you're writing just the bullet point stats or very bland word for word, information for people to read, they're going to get bored, or they're not going to be interested enough to even open it in the first place. So basically what I said is, okay, well, no matter what you're blogging about, there can always be certain aspects. There can be a storyline, there can be conflict, there can be characters, there can be love. It's kind of like the movie Princess Bride, where there's all the different kinds of aspects of a good story placed into one thing.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say just like anything else that you read, any other type of media, whether you're watching a movie, a TV show, you're reading a book, you're reading a play, you're going and, listening to music, there has to be those key components that you see in all types of those media. Like Mike is saying, you need the characters, you need the drama, the suspense, the themes. You need all of that in order to make your blog interesting. So it's not just about, throwing your information out there, but you need to develop it in a way that offers something to people and is interesting for them to read, I'd say.
Right. Now, one of the tricks that I tend to do whenever I write is to start by picking a hero and a villain, or a protagonist and antagonist. That way, throughout the blog, you can drop in different personal traits into your different characters to have people feel more attached to the hero and dislike the villain a little bit more. That way they're feeling what you're feeling, and they're thinking along the same lines of what you're thinking, but they're having fun while they're doing it. So basically, like, if we were writing about social media and I was on a rant, say if I was blogging about how much I like Twitter, and I would say the Twitter naysayers of the world and give them a personality and say that they might frown upon different aspects and say that it's not very useful and they might have their own ways, and I might give them some personality traits like being kind of snooty or rude or snobbish, kind of.
Yeah, and I was talking to Mike earlier about how much I liked his blog post and his idea behind creating characters when you're writing, because so many people just think that you can start a blog and you can just, copy and paste traditional information that you have in brochures, or, static information on your website like services and different stuff like that, and you can just throw it on your blog and people will want to come and read and talk about all that information that you just threw on there. But really it needs to be a lot more interactive, and you need to have a lot more fun with it. It needs to be more of a story, like Mike says, and it really needs to captivate people so that by the end of the blog post, not only are they thinking about your company, but they're thinking about themselves, and the information is giving them value, and they're at the point where they want to share that information with other people in their community because they enjoyed it so much. So it's really different than all the other stuff you've done before blogging. You need to make it a lot different, and you need to do the stuff that Mike says. So
do what I say.
Do what Mike says. He had a great blog post about it, and if you want to check it out, onesocialmedia.com/blog, and just look through our blog post. You'll find it there.
There's a picture of a dragon and a knight, I think, associated with it, so it should be easy to find. One other thing to say about this, too, is that throughout all of your blogs, your personal voice and character should be coming through. to a point where if people have read one or two of your blogs, they kind of expect to know your terminology, your character, your personality traits, maybe even your quirks, what you like, what you don't like. You're always putting a little bit of yourself into your blogs or your company, and your company should have a personality of its own as well.
I'd say that's good advice. Anything else you want to share today?
Make sure that when you're blogging, I'll say this, you yourself are learning something, because if you're not, then the people who are reading it are not going to learn anything either, and that's the point of a blog, is to give value to everybody else. So if you really take advantage of it, you should learn something new every day, and everybody who reads should learn something new too.
I agree. All right, well, we have a little shorter show today, but as always, if you have questions about blogging or anything relating to social media, you can always ask us at facebook.com/onesocialmedia or tweet us on Twitter. We're at onesocialmedia. And you can also find, all of us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and our VU channels. That's VYOU.com. All right. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thanks, guys.